been here.
The Grey Goose, Adventures of a Modern Robin Hood.
After my sojourn in the country, where I ran into quite a piece of arson, I returned to town rather sooner than I'd anticipated. I felt that Norfolk and the contacts I'd made there might start a trail, the end of which might finish rather too near the Grey Goose for comfort. So, back to town I went. Then came a moment when, having called for Barbara Faversham, we decided on a little shopping expedition. Did I say we? However, in a certain store, we eventually pulled up at one of those counters where all the goods were displayed. Barbara, of course, picked up every piece and, to the best of my knowledge, put it down again. I do hope I'm right, because in a moment there was a sort of electronic disturbance.
Stop that woman! Stop her!
I assure you, miss, you're quite mistaken.
Oh, no, I'm not. You lifted that there pair of nylons as short as I'm standing here.
I tell you,
Mr. Williams, over here, quick, please. Now, whoever you are, don't run. It's no good, see? Mr. Williams!
Coming, Miss Wright. Now, what's the bother? What can I do to assist the lady?
Nothing, but you can assist me. She's lifted a pair of nylons off my counter. If you open her handbag, you'll find them inside. Shoplifter, that's what she is.
Oh, that's different. Very well, Miss Wright. Hand over your counter to Miss Cleaver and follow on as soon as that is done to the manager's office.
Right, Mr. Williams. Miss Cleaver, please.
You, miss, will accompany me at once.
But I assure you, the girl is entirely in the wrong. I've got nothing of yours in my bag at all.
We'll decide that point in the office. Please do not waste time. You know, I seem to have seen you before.
Well, personally, I never wish to see you nor your store ever again.
Oh, that's a dreadful humiliation for any woman to have to endure.
Yes, isn't it? Of course, she rather deserves it for being so silly.
Silly?
Yes, silly enough to be caught out.
Oh.
Haven't you ever lifted anything? In a moment of aberration, of course.
I once helped myself to an all-day sucker, when the man wasn't looking.
Exactly. My first offence, I think, was some apples from an orchard. Even as infants, you see, we were potential menaces to society.
And now?
Uh-oh. Don't rake that up. We are shopping and paying cash for things. But you know, Barbara, I'm a bit intrigued by that girl.
The shoplifter?
Yes. She had a face...
All women do.
...that intrigued me. A face, mind you, that didn't register a professional thief. A sort of... how can I put it? A despairing face. Yes, I have it. A face that tells you the owners had it.
I haven't got all that down exactly, but I do see what you mean.
And that wretched little counter-jumper floor-walker specimen was fairly gleaming with righteous indignation.
A loathsome type, I thought.
Good. I'm glad of that, because I'm going to do something about it.
You can't interfere.
Oh, can't I? Come with me, wench, and you'll see whether or not I can interfere.
Where are we going?
To the manager's office. Hurry. Aha, here we are. Shall we knock or just barge in?
Oh, knock. It's more polite.
Well, toujours la politesse. We knock.
What do you want? I'm very busy at the moment.
Oh, I realize that, sir. And I realize you have that woman with you, the one who...
Exactly. The one on whose account we have just summoned the police.
Well, I hate to interfere, sir, with your private or store affairs, but I feel that before drastic action is taken, possibly a version from an interested witness might help matters and save the store a little embarrassment.
Come in.
Thank you.
Now, please say what you have to say and let me be the judge of its value. We have here the woman, Nancy Wells, the pair of nylon stockings taken from Miss Wright's counter, found in the Wells woman's handbag. Even as an onlooker, you can't do much in the face of that evidence.
It does look a bit grim, doesn't it?
It certainly does, especially as this is the third time this woman's been caught.
Have you prosecuted her?
Not in the past. The store does not like the publicity entailed. But this time, I intend to get this woman jailed.
I wouldn't do it if I were you.
Why not?
Well, if you'll send her outside for a moment, I'll explain.
And let her skedaddle?
Oh, not so. Hold on to her. You can send this, gentleman, Mr. Williams, with her. Also the counter girl, Miss Wright.
Yes, you obviously have something to tell me.
Exactly. Something for the good of your very excellent establishment.
All right, Williams. You and Miss Wright take the Wells woman into the passage and wait.
Yes, sir.
Now, sir, will you please explain?
Certainly. The fact is, I happened to witness that scene just now.
So you said a moment ago.
And permit me to interrupt you. The Nancy Wells, the culprit you are thinking of putting in jail, is no more Nancy Wells than I am.
No.
Definitely no. She's a member of a very influential family.
You don't say.
But I do say. And I'm sure your directors would take a very dim view of a prosecution in that case.
What family? Can't you be plainer with me?
Certainly. Look, I'll write the name down. There. A very sad case indeed.
Good heavens, if this is true. But wait on, sir. How do I know you're speaking the truth? You might be trying to get her away, a sort of accomplice. Pardon me if
my dear sir, you're perfectly right. Why should you take my word? Here's my card.
Oh, thank you. Sir Thomas Loveday, East Anglia Club, Maybury, Berkhampton. Please, Sir Thomas, accept my apologies.
Oh, not at all. Delighted.
I shall release the lady immediately.
And here's some money for the nylons.
Oh, far too much.
Well, in that case, what's over can go to the sales girl.
I really am grateful to you, Sir Thomas.
Oh, don't mention it.
I'll go and tell Mr. Williams and the sales girl to return to their duty and release the lady. Miss Wright, Mr. Williams, yes, release the lady immediately.
As soon as we are out, Barbara, you follow Nancy Wells. Report when possible.
Oh, thank you, Sir Thomas.
Thank you. Well, good day to you. I'm sure you'll excuse us now. Lunch appointments and all that.
I quite understand.
Yes. Well, come along, Barbara.
Is that you, Rolly?
Yes? Who were you expecting? A very old one, but generally gets a polite titter. Come in, will you? Shove the old bookcase and get in that way.
Right. Just finished changing.
Rolly, you got away with murder down at that store. Good heavens, Sir Thomas Loveday, indeed. Where on earth did you get his card from?
I had it printed. Among others, I carry round with me in various little pockets.
Oh. But supposing that manager attempts to phone those addresses, that club, Maybury, Berkhampton, and all that.
He won't. There's no such man, and no such place.
And Nancy Wells. Who did you tell them she was?
Lady Sybil wearing weir.
Good heavens.
And for your comfort, there ain't no such animal.
If you aren't just the limit.
Well, now, why I buzzed you just now was to find out how you got on. You followed Nancy Wells?
My word, I did. And what a chase I had. We went from store to store.
What?
Oh, she took nothing. I'm certain of that. I kept too sharp a lookout.
Then she was buying stuff?
Not a thing.
Then what was she up to?
If you ask my opinion, she was, spying out the land.
Casing the joint, as they say in the classics. Now, what happened later?
Well, after an hour, she boarded a bus for Clapham Junction. She stayed downstairs. I dashed up on top.
Did you see her get off?
Of course I did.
You followed, naturally.
I did. She let herself into number 17, Lavender Street, Clapham Junction. Then she went upstairs. She must have done because the upstairs light went on immediately.
What was the place like?
Oh, utterly dispiriting to look at. Decayed, unpainted. Oh, horrible. And Rolly.
Well, what?
As she let herself in, I caught a good look at her face reflected in the hall light.
Yes?
It was wrecked. Rolly, tears were rolling down her face. If ever I saw despair, I saw it then.
Barbara, how old would you think she was?
Oh, about 33 or 35. Why?
That would just about match. Do you know, Barbara, I've seen that woman somewhere before this. I wonder if it was in a police court or... No, I don't think so. Just a moment. This is one of those times when the Grey Goose goes really honest.
What's on your mind?
Confound it, that face. I've got it. Ben Ford can really help the Grey Goose this time.
Scotland Yard.
Put me on to Inspector Ebenezer Ford. Urgent, please. Thank you.
Hello.
Oh, hello, is that you, Ben? Fletcher here.
Good heavens, what do you want?
A bit of help, Ben.
Look, if it's burglary, murder, or sudden death, tell the policeman on the beat.
Oh, stop kidding. I want to know something. I've come upon an unfortunate, and somehow I've got interested.
An unfortunate? What sort?
Tell me, does the Yard have a list of such petty offenders as shoplifters?
Well, of course. We've even got the photographs of hundreds of them. Store detectives have them, too. I'll have a look if your face is among them.
Well, if it is, burn it, will you? Seriously, Ben, is it possible for a mere civilian to have a look at them?
Well, of course, it's not my department, but I think I could arrange it. Did you have a look?
It's jolly nice of you, Ben. Actually, I want to have a look at someone whom I don't think will be in that gallery.
Eh? Have you any Irish blood in you, Fletcher? That's a bull if ever there was one.
Shall I say, then, I'm hoping the face that's in my mind won't be there.
Well, all right, then come along here, say, tomorrow morning. About 10 o'clock, all right?
Right. And thank you, Ben.
Fletcher, what the dickens wrong with you?
Nothing. I think... Yes, I'm almost certain I've seen a ghost.
All the nonchalance and savoir-faire seems to have suddenly left Rolland Fletcher. What sudden recollection has just crossed his mind? Listen to the next episode for enlightenment on this point when we further pursue this adventure of the Grey Goose.